So opening day, how's it feeling after, game's all done, first game of the season, all wrapped up? What are your thoughts just after the game?
Well, I thought the guys played well. We got a good pitching performance out of Will Sanford. We got guys in the game. I thought Dom Hellman came up really big with a couple at-bats, and probably for a freshman to do what Angel Lya did in his first game is really good, and fans can see how special of a talent Angel is. And there's other players that are really good that they didn't get a chance to see tonight. But by and large, I like the effort of the guys. I thought they played well, and, first game, I really appreciated the fans. The fans support at PK Park. It's not 80 degrees yet, and the fans packed the house, and I love that because of one thing. When I first got here, they said, you can't play baseball at PK Park early in the year, nobody will come, and that's false. People here want to watch a good baseball program play baseball, regardless of the weather, and they showed that tonight.
How stiff has the competition just been in the outfield, and what did Lya maybe do to earn that spot?
He was really good. And some other guys too. Elijah Cook was really good. He didn't start, he came in late, but he was really good. Those guys, the battle in our scrimmages, great question. The battle in our scrimmages was really good in that outfield, and it was fun to watch on a daily basis. And so, you're going to see the other kids, a mixture of the other guys out there. I thought Jack Brooks played real well tonight. He just had the game kind of under control all night, and I thought that was really a difference maker. With those guys, you can see their speed, and it's an element that's a lot of fun to watch if you're a fan.
You talked about Will really taking 2 big leaps forward this offseason. What do you make of that performance from him, and what are the areas you feel like he's really improved in and put on display?
He's just a year older. Mental toughness, calmness. Coach Flo has been really good for him. Coach Floor, Dan Straley. To have those two guys that are around those pitchers. I know it's only one game in, but I've been impressed with both their work and his demeanor. Both of their demeanors rubs off on those guys, in my opinion. And Will was a guy that had a tremendous arm last year, but he's kicked his stuff up. Supposedly he's one of only few guys that I think there's him and one other kid that plays on the football team that actually have the highest vertical jump in the whole school, which is tremendous with the athletes that are around here. It's crazy, track and field and football, and that's how good of an athlete Will is. And so I can see why the velocity is climbing and the stuff is climbing and the confidence with it.
What was the issue with Gostola there early in his outing?
I don't want to go into it, but it was accurately called, and it'll be something we'll address in our bullpen sessions this week.
You mentioned playing with more speed, playing with more small ball before the season. Was that done today? Was that what you were looking for?
Yeah, a little bit. And I think we can see some more. We actually didn't do a whole lot of stuff. We just did what the game asked. But when there's speed, I don't think you have to force a whole lot. It just kind of shows up naturally, and I think that's what you saw tonight.
How's it feel that guys lay bunts, get on base, and then are fired up as they are safe?
Well, how's it make you feel? Like watching it, it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's the feeling of a team. It's the feeling of appreciation of others. Those intangibles, right? I think that's what you're getting at, and I think you're right. And so when these guys are unselfish and they're fine putting a bunt down and celebrating it just like a home run would be hit, I think that's a lot of fun being around those guys. And that's kind of what this group's been like coaching.
You mentioned Floor and Straley being good for your pitching staff. What, I guess, about their temperament do you think really works with these younger guys to let them buy in, first year coaching staff?
Start with Straley. Dan is, he played 11 years in major leagues or something like that? Our entire staff, if you accumulate all of our career earnings, he made probably twice as much as all of us combined. Yeah. So, that's how smart in the game Dan Straley is. And so having him just here as basically a student, he's a coach with us, but he's getting his degree right now from the University of Oregon. He came back out of pro ball to do that. Yeah. I admire that. So that experience is massive. And then, Coach Floor, there's been a lot of coaches in the country that have tried to hire that guy away from the University of San Diego, and he did a tremendous job developing draft picks down there at USD. And it was well known that he is an elite baseball mind and a really good developer. And we were just fortunate enough that we were able to convince him to come up to Eugene. So that's kind of how that works. But his demeanor is really good. He's buttoned up. He's a professional.
How'd you feel like Burke ran the show behind home plate?
Really good. Burke's done that. I think last year he was second in the country in, catching metrics. And so, I don't know, I think I think the other catcher was the kid that was played at one of the East Coast schools, Bodine or something like that. That was a tremendous player, and he went off to pro ball. I think he was a first or second round draft pick. I think Burke has that ability too.
Saw Drew Smith a lot in right field last season, and now he's at third opening day. How do you see him? How do you like him in that third base spot and filling shoes of someone like Carter Girardi?
Yeah, Carter Girardi's in big league camp right now, right? And Drew Smith was a high school third baseman, shortstop, and so he moved to the outfield and just did it naturally, right? He's that good of a player, and when you have a guy like Girardi who's now in big league camp, first year out of the University of Oregon, that's how good of a defender Carter was. We all saw that. And Drew was really right behind Carter his whole time when he was here at third base, and now he's back in third base, and it's probably his most comfortable position. Drew's really good. You saw the bolt that was hit there late in the game. They've got a really talented offense. These guys have probably 6 old guys at least in that order. I think they had something like 6 seniors in that starting lineup today, with 1 junior and a freshman and a sophomore. Something like that. I mean, these guys are old. They all hit over 300. They steal a million bases, and they had, last year maybe one of the greatest players in the entire country play for them after they won 40 games. I mean, these guys are the real deal, and their starters out there throwing 91 to 94 miles an hour with command. Yeah, I'm impressed with what they've done. That's why they're here. We try to schedule well, and this is a team that I think is probably going to win their league, and hopefully we can have more fortune tomorrow and the next day.
Coach, can you speak to the versatility of your team? We saw in the second 2 bunts get down and then a home run. Is that the type of offense that we're going to see throughout the entire season?
Yeah, we probably won't see Dom bunt much, right? He's probably not that guy. But yeah, yes, I hope so, right? I mean, we want them to be productive. We want them to do what they do well. And so if they run, use your speed. If they hit for power, then great, use that. So whatever they do well, great. Whatever they don't do well, not really too concerned about that. Try to work on whatever your weaknesses are, but don't dwell on them and try to, break your confidence down over things that you're not good at. Everybody stinks at something, so leave it alone, work on it, try to get better, but stick with the strengths.
Jack's got into a couple balls there, and, big day for him. What'd you make of his performance?
Jimenez?
Yeah.
He's a really good player. He really is. I'm happy to coach him. He didn't play much last year, and he came in here and he was like out of high school. I think after his junior year, he was like 5'8" and 150 pounds. And yesterday I'm in the weight room with him, and he's taller than I am, and he's a house. This guy is really an athlete. We're lucky to have him at Oregon.